So a very good afternoon to all of you. Before starting the lecture, I would like to revise what I taught in the last class, because it is of utmost important. So we have been discussing this thing, that a sinusoid is assumed to be a straight line. The comparison is done. This is labeled as Vr of t. Obviously, Vr as a function of time. This is control. This is the control carrier wave. Now the comparison is carried on. When we observe the comparison, then we can very well say that whenever this thing is greater than, whenever the sine wave is greater than the carrier wave, then the devices are on, S1, S2 are on, as we are discussing the voltage of pole A with respect to 0. Okay, as we are discussing the pole voltages. Now, this point, I think till this point it was clear that the expression was obtained, and that was VDC by 2, 2D minus 1. Okay, 2D minus 1 when evaluated will give you VR of t upon VC t. Be very clear. Okay, and VR of t is nothing. VR of t is nothing. This is what 2D minus 1 will get you VR t upon VC, and VR of t is nothing but V reference, that is Vm sine of omega t divided by Vc, and V, the magnitude of sine is Vm. So Vm upon Vc is given the name m, small m, and which is termed as modulation index. What is modulation index? I think this is very clear that it is termed as modulation index. How this ratio value of 2D minus 1 is obtained, I had made it clear. Once again we are going to emphasize on it. Consider these two triangles. Okay, in the triangle DF upon DE should be equals to BF upon AE. Clear? DF is nothing but T on, DE is TS. BF is this length, that is VR minus VC, and obviously this VC is the minimum value, while VR is VR of t. So VR minus of minus VC, so we are getting this. While if you look at AE, then AE is plus VC minus of minus VC, that is 2 VC. Clear? V of t plus VC by 2 V of C. This is D. Clear or not? Yes, this is clear. So when you multiply this by 2, this gives us VR by VC plus 1, and 2D minus 1 give you VR by VC. I think these points are quite clear. Now I am calculating the VA naught T, that is the pole voltage. VA naught by T comes out to be VDC by 2 into M sin omega naught T. Okay, M sin omega T. Now I can very well explain the value of VA naught is clear. Now similarly you can obtain VB naught. Okay, VB naught t will come out to be again mVDC by 2 sin omega t, but I had already shown you the waveform of VB naught, and just by merely looking at these waveforms we can comment that VB naught is lagging this waveform by pi. So VB naught is nothing but mVDC by 2 sin omega t minus pi. This gives us minus mVDC by 2 sine of omega t. Clear? Now a very small part is left, that is VAB equals to VA naught t minus VB naught t. Minus minus becomes plus, so this is mVDC sine omega t, where m is the modulation index, VDC is the DC source voltage, the peak of which is VDC source voltage, omega t is frequency. Now before moving on to the unipolar theme, I would like to emphasize on the disadvantages of the sinusoidal PWM. First disadvantage is that the ripple in output voltage is high. It means the fluctuation in voltage is 2 VDC. Have a look at this. This is output voltage, that is VDC. It is fluctuating between plus VDC and minus VDC. Again plus VDC and minus VDC. So the gap is 2 VDC. Clear? Second part. We can't go to very high switching frequency. Yes, obviously we cannot go to very high switching frequency. Okay, The limit of switching frequency is only 50 times this. Why? Because switching frequency refers to the time duration. Okay, look at this. This is the time duration. Okay, and if we are concerned with the conduction losses, then this V amplitude plays a very big role. In the conduction losses, the on time duration, that is this time, and this plays a very amplitude plays a very big role. Okay, so if the frequency is very high, then this switching will be very much more switching will be there. Okay, if frequency is high, then the switching will be there. So the switching will be between plus VDC and 2 VDC. So the delta V is 2 VDC. So obviously, the more the transition, the more will be the loss. Okay, the VI loss will be more. Okay, that's why we are not increasing the switching frequency more. The advantages is simple control scheme. So now let's move to the unipolar PWM. Unipolar PWM is very important because in this PWM, the switches are conducted not in couples. Okay, they are conducted individually. So when the reference, that is sine wave, is greater than VCT, S1 is conducted. When the reference is less than VCT, S2 is conducted, S4 is conducted. Similarly, when the negative part of VR is greater than VC, obviously S3 will conduct, and when the negative part is less than VC, then S2 will conduct. Clear? We are talking about mod. So when in the negative cycle, the mod of reference is greater than the mod of carrier, then S3 will conduct. When the mod of S2 is less than the mod of VC, then S2 will conduct. Now have a look at this. I will show you the conduction. Whenever this thing, carrier, is greater than, reference is greater than carrier, this is the duration of S1. Okay, clear? This is S1 is on. Clear? Now when it is smaller than VC, then obviously which will be on? It is going to be S4. So the voltage becomes minus VC. Clear? This is S4 on, S1 on, S4 on. Now have a look at this in this part. When for the negative part, here the negative part of sine, in this part the sine is on. Negative part, the mod is greater than C. So for this part, in this leg, if you are concerned about this leg, have a look at this leg. Okay, here the voltage is minus VDC by 2, and we can straight away comment, then when the voltage is minus VDC by 2, then S2 is on. S2 is on. Clear? So here S2 is on, and in this case, okay, in this case S3 is on. Clear or not? So what we can say that, or you can better see this part. Have a look at this part. Here the sine wave is greater than triangular wave. It is greater, the magnitude is greater. So VB0 is plus VDC by 2. So obviously, which is on? Which is on? S3 is on, while here it is S2 is on. So I would again come back and explain every switching, so that the switching in the upcoming lecture also I will discuss all the switches, so that no confusion arises. But still we should understand, in this period it is going to be S1. Clear? S1, be very clear. S1, S4. Okay, and you can comment from here. It is going to be for the negative wave S3, S2. That's it. You can very well understand for the positive S1, S4, and subsequently you can analyze. Clear? And for the sine for the high frequency PWM, it is very easy. Mod, just look at the mod. This is greater than this, positive, negative. Okay, S1, S2. Clear? In the negative part, again mod, this mod is greater than this. When it is greater, in the negative pulse it is firing. So you can see that here also, when in the negative pulse, I would like to end this lecture only in this part. I will clear this thing. More emphasis will be laid on this part in the next lecture so that it becomes very much clear. The switching will become very much clear. Thank you and have a fine day.